starring Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. Of course, who else is here? My office is falling apart over there. Excuse that noise. Legends, welcome along to another Laurel and Hardy review. This is Wrong Again from 1929. It's a silent short movie starring Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. Of course, who else is here? My office is falling apart over there. Excuse that noise. Right, among the supporting cast in this one, there's Harry Bernard, Josephine Crowell, William Gillespie, Charlie Hall, Dale Henderson, Jack Hill, Fred Holmes, Fred Kelsey, Sam Lufkin, and Anders Randolph. Anders, haven't heard that name before. Anyway, this movie, basically, at the beginning, they're a couple of Stablehands working, cleaning out horses' stables, and they find out that, well, they overhear a conversation that the famous Blue Boy has been stolen, and there is a $5,000 reward, I do believe, was the money on the horse's head if it's found. So let me just double check that. Yes, $5,000 reward for the recovery of Blue Boy. So they decide that they're going to take Blue Boy to the owner, claim the reward. There's a horse in the stable called Blue Boy. So basically, this entire film is set in the house of the owner of Blue Boy. But while Stan and Ollie are taking the horse to the house to return him and collect the $5,000 reward, we cut to a couple of robbers that have been busted for the theft of Blue Boy the painting. So of course we find out very early in this film what the situation is, the trouble they're going to get themselves into, and the police recover the painting Blue Boy, which will be returned before the end of the movie. So Stan and Ollie turn up at this mansion, millionaire mansion, with this horse. They ring the doorbell. The owner comes to the top floor. He's having himself a bath, and he throws the key out to Oliver, bring Blue Boy into the house. And Oliver's kind of like, you know what, that sounds a little bit strange, but he's the owner, it's his house, it's his horse, we'll do what he wants, sort of a thing. So they take the horse into the house, and complete and utter insanity ensues from this point on when they get into the house. And the owner shouts down, put him on top of the piano, and they're like, do you usually keep him on the piano? And he's like, I always keep him on the piano. So there's a whole sequence where they're trying to get the horse on top of the piano, and the horse starts eating out of a plant pot, and Stanley uses that. A rare occurrence of brain power for poor old Stanley. Gets the horse on top of the piano, following this potted plant, and it's not as simple as that. In the crazy world of Laurel and Hardy, the horse then jumps off the piano, and there's a whole sequence where the horse is chasing Stanley through the house, trying to get this potted plant, and then Stanley gives it to Oliver instead, and the horse starts chasing him, so they're running around the house. The place is getting absolutely trashed, and eventually there's a fantastic sequence coming up to the end of this film where they get the horse on top of the grand piano again, I should say, and the leg breaks off the front of the piano, falls down. The horse is still on top of it. So Stan and Ollie are trying to lift this grand piano with a horse on top to get the leg put back onto the piano again. And at one point, Oliver gets trapped below the piano. He's trying to, brace it up using his back, and sorry, I'm just thinking, every time Oliver's below the piano, every time Stanley's trying to lift the piano up, the horse keeps knocking the hat off Stanley's head, so he's constantly running, getting his hat, putting it back on. But previous to this point, there is a brilliant wrong hat sequence involving not just Stan and Ollie for a change, but also the horse. The horse is on the piano, Oliver's sitting on top of the piano, Stanley is leaning on the side of the piano, and the horse keeps knocking Stanley's hat forward. But Stanley doesn't realise it's the horse. He's fixing his hat, then knocking Oliver's hat across. So it's the whole wrong hat sketch again. But obviously there's a horse involved this time. Absolutely brilliantly done. But back to the point where Oliver's below the piano, trying to get it up to get the leg put into place. The camera comes up. You don't see what happens with Oliver below the piano, and eventually Stanley gets the leg put below the piano, thinks everything's sorted, but we pan down and we see that Oliver's head is trapped between the grand piano and the leg of the grand piano. Absolutely hilarious. So well done. That's what I love about these old movies. You kind of see, special effects, visual effects, and you kind of see the strings to the trick in these ones, and this one was done incredibly well. Obviously it wasn't Stan and Ollie trying to lift the piano with the horse on top. There was like an arm straight for the piano, and it was safely lifting it and lowering it. But it was so well done, and they acted this sequence out so bloody well. It was absolutely fantastic. At the end of the movie, of course, the owner eventually comes downstairs. The entire time all this is happening, the owner is upstairs after his bath, getting dressed, changed to come down. And coming up to the end of the film, we see his mother approaching in a car outside, and he tells Stan and Ollie to close the curtains. He wants to surprise her. But it's the curtains into the other room where the horse is on top of this piano. And the mother turns up the door, and as she comes through the door, there's two guys carrying Blue Boy, the painting, the two policemen. And she's like, look what I've got. So of course the owner is starting to what the heck have I got? Sort of a thing. So of course Stan and Ollie, title of the movie, wrong again. They apologise and try to leave, take the horse with them. So the owner takes off after them with a shotgun. We don't actually see what happens outside, but he gets brought back in at the end of the film with a policeman, and we get that classic joke. Once again, this guy almost blew my brains out, and the policeman turns around and the whole backside of his trousers is singed from a gunshot. The painting, of course, gets destroyed at the end of the film as well, as he was running out to chase Stan and Ollie. He knocked one policeman over on top of the painting, and the other policeman's face came through where the face of the painting should be. Great little movie. This is one I didn't even know existed. As I said in the last review, I've seen pictures and stills from a lot of movies, but this one in particular, hadn't seen any pictures or anything, or any clips or anything online up to this point. That's what I love about doing these reviews and these box sets. There's a mess load of stuff that I haven't seen before, and this was one of them. And this was a genuine treat. So well acted. And I just, I give you, over 8 minutes worth of a review here. And I didn't even really touch the surface of a lot of the slapstick comedy that happens in this movie, because you know what? I don't want to completely destroy it for you. I can go scene by scene, tell you exactly everything that happens in these movies, but what's the point in that? You're watching the movie review, and my aim with these is to get you interested and go and actually checking out the movies themselves. So there's a lot of stuff on here didn't even touch, but that was the main points right there. And again, so well done. Really enjoyed this one. Couldn't recommend it higher.